City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers, Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Thousands crowded the Rotorua International Stadium at the weekend for Ragamuffin 2014. Rotorua International Airport and the Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter have announced a joint open day to be held next month. And Rotorua school kids will continue to ride to Rotorua Museum for free. Thousands crowded the Rotorua International Stadium at the weekend for Ragamuffin 2014. The two-day festival showcased 17 artists, including 9 international acts. Fans attending Saturday's performances were down on last year, however numbers for the Friday night show were up. Events and Venues General Manager Peter McLeod says Ragamuffin will definitely be back here in 2015 and negotiations will begin in the next few months with McManus Entertainment to extend the rights for Rotorua to host the festival. Rotorua International Airport and the Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter have announced a joint open day to be held next month.
Well, today we're looking to showcase a little bit of the interagency work that we have between the rescue helicopter and some of the police agencies, as well as we'll be having the other emergency services that we have involvements with, hopefully out here having displays as well. So, as you said a moment ago, it's normally held up at the hospital hangar. This year we've seen an opportunity to collaborate with the airport and combine both our open days to produce hopefully what's going to be a better event for us both.
The open day will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, March the 30th, and attendees are encouraged to donate a gold coin to the Bay Trust Rescue Helicopter and Blue Light charities. Local school children will continue to be able to visit Rotorua Museum for free this year on a bus funded by the Ngāti Whakaui Education Endowment Trust Board. The Trust Board has confirmed funding the museum bus for a 5th year, providing free transport to the museum for all decile 1 to 5 schools in the region. Since funding for the bus was first granted in Term 2, 2010, over 18,000 Rotorua students from 34 local schools have taken advantage of the free bus service. In sport tonight, local All Black rugby fans will get to see more of their heroes than expected this season, as the All Blacks and the All Black Sevens team have signed a new sponsorship deal with Jockey Underwear. The 3-year sponsorship will see the iconic underwear brand as the official off-field underwear sponsors of both teams. A new campaign will showcase the All Blacks and All Black Sevens in the new Jockey Winter 2014 range. 2 other update now. Tonight will be fine with light winds and an overnight low of 12. For tomorrow, Tuesday, fine spells with light winds, a high of 23 and a low of 12. And the outlook for Wednesday, cloudy periods with light winds, a high of 23 and a low of 11. And the marine forecast for Tuesday, variable 5 knots with northerly 10 knots developing in the afternoon and then easing in the evening with waves less than half a metre, and there'll be some fine spells. Remember, for program listings or to upload your videos, check out our website tvrotorua.co.nz. You can also see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Coming up after the break, we meet a couple of winners of this year's Dylan Scholarships. Alan Solomon catches up with District Councillor Janet Wepper, and we find out about events coming up with Event Centre Manager Jolene Elliott, including news about this weekend's inaugural Māori basketball tournament. Last week, Bay Trust Trust got the recipients of this year's Dillon Scholarships together for a cup of tea and a chat about their studies this year. The Dillon Scholarship Program provides financial assistance to people who have significant disabilities and who are undertaking tertiary education. Alan Solomon went along and met with a couple of the scholarship winners.
Well, joining me now is Norman Kelly, she is the Bay Trust Administrator. Thanks for joining us today, Norman. Now, you've got the tough job, haven't you? Because you're the one that has to put everything together and chase up all the recipients, so tough job?
It's a rewarding job, not tough. It's interesting to see the students that apply to us. They're invited just before Christmas to put their applications forward, and so this year successfully we had 51 applicants.
Wow.
And the Trust is going to hand out 101,000 to them, so that's spread out amongst the Bay, and they are normal students about to become tertiary students and begin their career and learn, and then also some older students that are returning to study and wanting to upskill themselves. So the applicants are always very interesting to hear from. You never know what you're going to read about them or what their life story is about, but that they are all worthwhile students, and the Bay Trust encourages these students with disabilities that are going into study. And yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah.
Now, most of these students go to Waitakere, don't they? But they're just not isolated to Waitakere, because there'll be obviously other learning institutes throughout the Bay.
Yeah, there are 8 students in Rotorua going this year, and 6 of them are at Waiariki, and the rest of the students are from Taupo, Eastern Bay and the Western Bay. So a wide range of study. They might be starting here, or they could be going over across to Waikato or Massey or doing open polytech courses. So we never know until we hear from them. And this year we had 17 new students approach us, and the other 35 were returning. So over a 5-year period, generally it starts at 3, but they could be a maximum of 5 years. 5 years of study, which is brilliant. I have that lovely task of watching them develop
and actually, form relationships
and completing. Yes, and the Trust is interested in them.
Now, we're here at the Rotorua Energy Charitable Trust right now. Have you just handed out those scholarships here today now?
We not handed out. I've already advised them, because they always want to know early notice, and then they get their NCEA results, so then they know that they are starting their studies. Today is about meeting the students from the area and meeting their parents and their support network, because it is about the support that they need for study.
So you're the local one that actually gets to give them a call on the phone and say, hey, you guys have won this scholarship?
Yes. We have this wonderful thing, called Facebook and emails and connection that way. But I'm also, throughout the year, I keep in touch with them. And it's more about just, hey, someone's interested in what you're doing, and you're not just left to your own devices. Somebody else you have to account to.
What's it like when they respond back to you, that one?
Emotional. It's rewarding from the Trust point of view, because all they're doing is having the money to facilitate their dreams, and from that we get to hear these wonderful stories and meet these students who are just incredible journeys that they're about to start. I talk about journey because study is a journey.
Absolutely.
And they don't know if they're going to succeed or not, but then at the end of the day you find out that they are successful, and their pride is the driver for the Trust.
What sort of things the select committee, what are they looking for when they're going through the applications?
I think it's certainly about the significance of their disability and the struggles that they have over and above just going to study. Some of them need transport to their destination. Some of them are just extra bookwork money. Student loan's a student loan.
Yeah,
and
I think we've all got one of those.
Yes. We paid off a lot over time. But then it's that little bit of encouragement, and that's the important thing that they've talked about. They're encouraged. They know someone else is encouraging them to be successful.
Well, I'm encouraged to meet some of those, so I appreciate your time. Thank you, Norma.
Thank you.
Well, joining me now is Margie Inskip. She is one of the lucky recipients here of the Dillon Scholarships. So thanks for joining us today, Margie. Now, you've only just found out that you've won, haven't you?
Yeah, I just got a voicemail yesterday asking if I was coming to this conference or function. I didn't know anything about it until I rang them and asked what function.
And you just went in and sat down and they called out your name. Is that how it worked?
Yeah, pretty much. And then, yeah. I was like, oh, you got one. I was like, oh.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
So what are you studying, and where are you studying?
I'm studying early childhood, and I'm studying at Wairiki at Institute of Technology.
Yeah. And how far through are you?
I'm halfway through my diploma.
Now, obviously, winning a scholarship is going to help out things like your student loan. Is that what you're going to use it for?
Yeah, I'll probably just put on my student loan.
Yeah. Is it pretty sizable? Because mine still is.
I haven't looked, to be honest.
Yeah. So how much was your scholarship?
2,000.
Yeah, well, that's a good chunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do when you finish your diploma in early childhood? What do you want to do? Because obviously it's still a couple of years away. What's your end goal?
Just to get a job and live a normal life, I guess.
Yeah. Well, joining me now is Kyle Burling. Now, he's going to be New Zealand's next big artist, aren't you, Kyle?
Yes, I will be.
Now, you've just found out also that you've won one of these scholarships. So what was your reaction and how did you find out?
I was actually very excited, actually, and very, surprised, and my mind was just going, money, you know. I'm glad, you know. I was really blown away. I was like, all that hard work has done it for this.
Cool. Now, I mentioned that you're going to be the next upcoming artist in New Zealand, so you're obviously studying art, but whereabouts?
At Wairiki.
Yeah. And you're in first year or second year?
Second year.
So you've got 1 year to go, so at the end of that, what are you hoping to do at the end of this year?
I was hoping to do painting because it's something you stick to for your category. Some person said to me, you have to do something what is in your heart, and I said I might just stick with painting because I got all the gear.
Awesome. Well, 2014 is well and truly underway, and the vibrancy and enthusiasm that was within the CBD last year has carried on into this year. And one of the reasons is because we've got the new council and obviously a new mayor. And one of the councillors with me today, Janet Weber. Thanks for joining us today, Janet.
Good morning.
Did you have a good holiday? Because it's
Fantastic.
just back to work the last couple of weeks.
It is a lovely holiday. Good break. Needed it.
Now, obviously, like I just said, 2014 is well underway, and that energy from last year has carried on. So I'm guessing the big question is how did this new council manage to stir up all this new enthusiasm?
Well, I think with a new mayor and new CEO, who'd only been here a few weeks, of course, before the elections, we decided as a group to take the opportunity to go back and workshop and talk about what we had gone out and noticed in the community through the election process, perhaps what some councillors had promised. And so because of that, we decided instead of rushing into committee structure, we took the time to have workshops, discuss it all, and then of course we went out with our 2030 new vision. And while some of it people will see as stuff we're already doing, perhaps, but it's a new way of delivery and engagement, and I think that's what people wanted. So it's about improving communication, because most of us felt that we needed to really improve communication and a different way of delivering and listening to people a lot more.
When you say communication, you mean communication with the public?
Absolutely. Communication with the public, because I think we've always done it as well as we think we can with stakeholders, but it's with everyone and it's with the whole community, and I think that's what the excitement's about. And of course it's added to, I mean, it's summer, we've seen some of the things that we decided ages ago actually come to fruition, like the free parking and the Eat Street and all of those sorts of things. So it's just everyone's feeling very excited, and we really want to move on that. And
how does it make you feel as a person and obviously as a councillor when these ideas come through council and you work on them and you get them implemented and actually finally kick off? How does that make you feel? You've actually achieved it.
It's really great. The thing is, it takes longer than what you think, and that's the hard part of being a councillor.
Is that because of committees?
Process and rules that we have to go through, like laws, even for Eat Street, that took us years because we had to go through a process of stopping a road and the transition, and I won't go into it in detail, but it was a long process. Getting the money in the budget, making it happen, getting people to support it. So it's longer than what you think at times. And the free parking, that was longer than most people wanted to wait for it. It was a year. And even now we're on an 18-month trial. So, yeah, you just don't underestimate the time sometimes for things to happen.
Now, obviously, you're out and about during the day. Have you talked to people about the free parking? What have you heard?
Most people are pretty happy with it. Some businesses tell me they'd like it to just be 1 hour. And so there's all different views on it. So I think to have the 18-month trial was really good. I think overall people like the concept, but it's just for those anomalies, you know. Some people want 3 hours, some people want 1 hour, you know, all those sorts of things. So we'll work through that.
Cool. Let's talk about the 2030 plan. There was a couple of key areas that you guys decided that were important for the city and the area. So let's just discuss those a little bit. And one of them was the economic growth. Now, obviously, everybody wants that.
Yes.
Everybody wants more money and
Yes.
business and jobs and things like that. So what sort of key areas in the economic growth area are you guys looking at?
Well, what we've decided to actually do is through our workshop process, we come up with 5 key strategies, and one of them is economic growth. But we've decided to go into portfolios, and there's portfolio leads. So, and we'll all feed into that and have. So there is one councillor who's leading the economic growth strategy. But as you're right, it's about jobs, getting businesses to come here, and really work for people. Work for people, because we don't want people to leave Rotorua. We want them to stay here and have a really happy, fulfilling life. And so it's about that. But my key portfolio lead is sustainability, and they overlap a wee bit, and mine is about definitely to do with economic growth and jobs, but it's also about people are saying to us we want to have community gardens more, we want to have more economical power. Why aren't we using geothermal? It's about the seeds, which I know you're very interested in, the seed heritage. It's also about healthy homes, and that's a really important one. And you can say, well, that's central government, but it's about how do we attract the money here to make sure that people have got warm, comfortable homes to live in, stay in. And for me, it's even about solar power. So it's huge. It can be really big. So what we're doing to get that started is on February the 3rd, we're having a brainstorming session with a few key people. And out of that, we will eventually get a committee with the main people on to drive that work. So I'm really excited about that, because I really want our people to have lovely homes to live in. And it's about for themselves, but also for landlords. Because we know that sometimes our housing stock's very poor, because that impacts, of course, on children's health and everything like that. So it's about having a really happy community.
Well, it's going to be an awesome 2014. I'm sure we'll catch up again during the year.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Alan.
If you're a bit of a sports fan, we've got plenty of sports and activities happening in Rotorua this year, and we're going to be catching up with Joel and Elliot today down here at the Energy Events Centre, and we're going to be talking about the different sporting events that's going to be happening. But first, we're going to find out about the National Māori Basketball Tournament that's happening in a few weeks. Well, joining me now is Daryl Pena. He is the president of the Rotorua Basketball Association. Thanks for joining us today, Daryl. Now, is this the first time that we've had a basketball of this nature here in Rotorua? You know, a Māori basketball tournament?
Yep, this is in fact the inaugural National Māori Basketball Tournament. It's being run under the National Executive for the first time, and we hope to host it this year and possibly next year. We're based it around Waitangi weekend.
Yeah. And are all the teams coming from around New Zealand, and how many teams are there?
We've got 44 teams confirmed from as far south as Porirua, that's the Ngāti Toa tribe down there, Taranaki. We've got to the east coast, we've got Ngāti Porou, Te Arawa here, Waikato. And the furthest team up north is Kaitaia,
Wow.
which is Te Arawa.
So 44 teams, that's nearly 500 people coming to Rotorua to play basketball. It sounds like it's going to be a great weekend. So when exactly is it going to be?
It'll start Waitangi Day and continue through to the end of that weekend.
So it's a full weekend of basketball here in Rotorua. Sounds like it's going to be massive. So for you personally as the president, there must have been quite a lot of work logistically and getting it all organised.
Yep, all that work was done by my wife Sue. And she's actually now, she's been corresponding with all associations, doing the draw and booking the venues and all that, and we're ready to go. We'll start off with the pōhiri, and I think this tournament I believe, will really grow over the years.
Yeah, cool. Now, like I said, 44 teams, nearly 500 players. Is it mixed grades, or is it just is it competitive, or is it social? How's that work?
Yeah, it's both. We've got from the youngest, under 11s, up to the so under 11, 13s, 14s, 13s, 15s, 17s. Then we go to adults, and we have premier grade, which is very competitive, and a social grade.
Obviously, if there's competition, there's got to be prizes involved. So, any major sponsors out there?
Our major sponsors so far are Southern Trust, who do really good for sport, and we've got a sponsorship application in with New Zealand Community Trust, who've helped us for many years.
Cool. Now, if there's anybody at home who is interested in playing for a team from Rotorua, can they get hold of you to maybe join a team?
Sure, they can get hold of my wife Sue Penny, and they can do it via our website, Rotorua Basketball. We've got our own website, RBA, www. You'll find it.
You'll find it? Yeah, if not, you can Google.
Yep.
Now, obviously, over the weekend of Waitangi weekend, the basketball tournament's on. Is it going to be free for the locals to come and see?
Yep, no charge. Come down. We're in the Energy Event Centre. We'll probably also use the sports zone for some, but it'll be all happening. Just walk in and enjoy yourself.
Cool. So, like you said before, this is the first time you've organised a tournament like this. Was there any issues or any problems you had to overcome, or you didn't foresee coming?
No, because we've run big tournaments here in the past. The only issue I think is because it's the first time it's happened, and so getting people's mindsets into, well, here's a new tournament on the calendar.
Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks for your time, Gerald. Thanks for joining us today, Jolene. Now, obviously, when we caught up last year, we were always having a good chat about all the different things that happened down here at the Energy Event Centre. But I know this year, 2014, is another huge year for you guys. So what's happening, especially towards the start of the year? At the start of the year, there's some big events coming. So share with our audience what's happening down here.
Okay, so in March we've got the Bill Haley Jr. and the Comets show. So that's on the 28th of March here in the arena. So we're going to set it up, theme it like rock and roll. So it's going to be a great night for everyone.
So he's the son of the original Bill Haley, isn't he?
Yes, and he sings all the original hits too. Apparently it's going to be a great gig for everyone.
And have you got an idea how much it's going to cost for people to come in?
Yes, tickets are available from Ticketmaster. They're around the $70 mark, and then also we've got dinner tickets as well, so you can incorporate a good evening out with everyone.
Cool, I like that. A bit of music, a bit of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Now, obviously you've got some sports events coming up as well.
Yes, we've got our Adelaide Thunderbirds coming to town to play our local team Magic, so we're looking forward to that. That's in May. And we've also got the 50th Marathon. So that's a huge day for Rotorua. That's on the 2nd of May.
Now that's expecting to be quite huge with 20,000 people coming to the city. That's massive. Are we going to be able to handle that?
Yes, we will. What we're doing is we're expanding our walls here at the Energy Event Centre. So we'll be incorporating the car park, creating atmosphere, creating areas for people to sit and wait for their runners to come back in.
Yeah. You're going to be doing it?
No. When I say I'm running the marathon, it's in a literal, not in a literal sense.
I've been asked as well, Charlie, but I don't think I'm not much of a runner either. Obviously, the Silver Urns is probably the big draw card for the year as well. Whenabouts are they heading here?
They'll be here in October of this year. Very excited to have secured that event. They've got 3 tests in New Zealand, and it's awesome that Netball New Zealand have decided to bring it to Rotorua.
Well, we know you're a busy lady, Jolene, so I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Some exciting events coming up in the city, and that was Alan Solomon talking with Event Centre Manager Jolene Elliott. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team at City News, Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.